Assalamu alaikum to all viewers and dear student. Today we have a new topic, that is the probability. We are finding the z values, how we calculate the value of z from using the z standardized normal variable table. This is topic is related to BAC, BA, BCom, BBA, MBA, MCS. So first of all we use to calculate probability of z. Probability of z less than or equal to 0 less than 0 less than or equal to z less than or equal to 1.64. How we calculate this area? We are using standardized normal variable, the table using. So first of all we draw the curve. Here is 1.64 is positive. This is the mean value, and here 1.64 we calculate this area between 0 to this area we are finding. How we calculate? From the table means that this area is from here. So how we calculate this? This is already from 0 to 1.6. We see the table 1.6, 1.64. We can write 1.6 plus 0.04. So we get the same result. So we check the table area of standardized normal variable 1.6 row and column of 0.06 and column of 0.004. So the result, so the probability of this result is 0.4465. If we see the table, so this value is available in the row of 1.6 and column of 0.04. We will get the answer 0.444465. So this area we calculate. Similarly, if we are for negative, probability of minus 1.64 less than or equal to z less than or equal to 0, we get the same result. There will be no effect on the questions. So the tail is left hand side, so the curve we draw the curve here. The curve we draw 0 minus 1.64. This area is required to this. How we see the table? Minus 1.6 plus 0.04. We can write in means that here we check the row, the same process we are using, and the column of using Z table. Z is mean area of standard normal distribution. We use this table. Z is called standardized normal variable or also called normal distribution. So we check the value of 1.6. Here negative, ignore this here 1.6 and 0.0. So the same result we get here 0.4465. Similarly, other probability of minus 1.64 less than or equal to z less than or equal to 0 plus probability of 0 less than or equal to z less than or equal to 1.52. How we calculate this area? Now look here, first of all we are needed this area. We draw the curve. Here is minus 1.64 This is the mean point, mean, and here 1.52 is positive, negative side, this is left hand side, this is the right hand side. It means that we are required this area from here to the, so this area is required. How we calculate this area? We see the Z table standardized, we see this area, we can write minus 1.64 is equal to minus 1.6 plus 0.04. We see the table of Z table, see Z table, this is row and this is column. If we see this value and this 14495. Similarly, if we check this result 1.52, we can write 1.5 plus 0.02. This area we checked in the row and 0.02 we check the column and the Z table. So the result we will get if we see 4357. So we add these two values, we get the result 0.8852, which is the required probability. That is very simple, just we find the probabilities between two values. How we calculate this value? We see the table of 1.67 less than equal to less than or equal to Z less than or equal to 1.71. Both values are positive. So how we calculate this result? Look here, we draw the first curve. Both are positive. 1.67 and 1.71. So both this result, this area is required. How we calculate? It means that we are required the probability from 0. First we find the value of from 0 to 1.7, and the second value we find this value, we subtract this value, means that we subtract this area. How we calculate this area? We can write, so first we write 0 less than or equal to Z less than or equal to 1.71 minus probability of 0 less than or equal to Z less than or equal to 1.67. The first value 0 to 1.71 and subtracted this area is required. So we subtract this area, means 0 up to 1.67. Now we see the table, Z table, see, and the Z table, Z is standardized normal variables, standardized normal distributions. We check the value of 1.71. 1.71, we can write 1.7 plus 0.01. We get the same answer. We check this row and this one is the column. The result is 0.45. The result is 0.4564. Similarly, if we find this result 1.67, we write 1.67 plus 0.07. So we check this is the row and 0.07 is the column. We see the table, so the result is 0.45. Now the required result are subtracted to each other, so this result, if we substitute this result in above probabilities 64 minus 0.4505, so the result is equal to 0.0059, which is the required result. Probability of minus 1 point less than or equal to Z less than or equal to minus 1.23. How we calculate? Both are negative values. How arrange this ones. We can write in the standardized normal curve. First is minus 1.23 minus 1.50. We are required the probabilities between these two figures. So this area is related. This area is required from here. So this area is required. First, but probability is started standardized variable is the probability started from 0. First value we find from 0 to up to 1.5, and the second value find so from 1.3. So we subtract this area. Now we can write this probability of minus 1.50 less than or equal to z less than or equal to 0 minus probability of minus 1.23 less than or equal to z less than or equal to 0. So if we see, we use z table. So minus 1.50 means that minus 1.50, 0.0. We check this row and column of 0 or 0. So the result is equal to 0.4713. Similarly, and minus 1.23, we check minus 1.2 plus 0.03. This is row and column of 0.03. If we check the table, so we get the answer 0.3907. So both values we substitute and the result, so 0.4713 minus 0.3907. These are the basic things if we are using standardized normal variable. This is called probability. 0.0806, 0.0806, which is the required result between two values of the z standardized normal variables of z greater than 1.65. How we calculate this area? So look here, we are using standardized normal variable area. Here the value is positive, so that is lies in the positive right side, 165. Look here if we are increasing here, there infinity and here is minus infinity. So z is the value of z area is greater than, it means that this area is required, greater than this area is required, but probability is lying and here this one, so this is 0.5. So it means that we subtract this area. 0.5, 0.5 minus 0 less than or equal to z less than or equal to 1.765. So now how we calculate this area? The same process we are using 1.65. We can write 1.6 plus 0.05, 0.05. So we use here 1.6 is used as a row and 0.05 is used as a column. We check the column of Z table. So the result will be equal to what? 0.4505. Now we subtract this area 0.5 minus 0.4505. So if we subtract, the result is 0.0495, which is the required result. Probability of z less than minus 1.82. How we calculate this area? Now the same results, area is less than required. So here we draw the curve. This is 0 and here is negative value. Negative value is minus 1.82. Less than here is minus infinity. Here is positive infinity. It means that this area is required less than this area is required. But actually we have, if we are finding the area 0 to 1 minus 1.82. So this area is in what it means that we subtract this area from this 1.5. The total area is equal to zero point 0.5 and zero point 0.5 is equal to 1.0, that is total area is 1. Must be 1, otherwise your question be wrong. So it means that if we are finding this area, so we subtract, we calculate zero point 0.5, 0 less than or equal to z less than or equal to minus 1.82. Or we can write this area 0.05 minus 1.82 less than or equal to z less than or equal to 0. We can write this statement, above statement, both are same. There will be no difficulty. Now we check this area. See in the table, Z table, minus 1.82, we can write minus 1.8 plus minus plus 0.02. This is we row, if we row check and 0.02 we check the column. So the result is equal to 0.4656. Now we substitute this result 0.5 minus 0.4656. So the answer is 0.0344, which is the required probability between Z, probability of Z less than minus 1.82. Thank you very much for watching. Appreciate you in advance. Please subscribe my channel. These are the basic things of BC and all courses of statistics. So you must be remember it. Please pray for me and subscribe my channel.